Okay, welcome back. Another episode of Elks Central, October 13th. Elks get the win over the Blue Bombers 25-20. Keep the playoff hopes alive. Different show today in the Sports 1440 studios, and just Declan and Eddie here breaking this one down. But a huge win. Stay alive in the playoff hunt. That's what it's about. There was a little extra added incentive to get that win by 14 or more, so you have the tiebreak. They don't quite get there. They were up 25-10. Like halfway through the third quarter. So it was there to be had for them. They don't end up getting that 14-point margin. But it's about getting the win. That's first and foremost. They get this one done. Not overly impressive in the passing game. Justin Rankin had the big run on 3rd and 2, but not overly. Like, it was just a kind of all facets of the game that buckled down and did it. Obviously, we'll get into it here, but just kind of, like, Eddie, what were your initial thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it was a well-played game. You know, we're going to talk about this throughout the program here, but the points that were potentially left on the board, the lack of aggressiveness. But hey, Edmonton came out. We talked about it. The way you stop Winnipeg, punch them in the mouth. And that's what you need to do. You need to limit Brady Olivieri. You need to limit that offensive line. And this Edmonton team has proven over the past month, Deck, that they are capable of balling with anybody in the league.
100%. Like, these guys absolutely can play with anybody. Like, you look at the way they beat Saskatchewan coming off a bye. Winnipeg off a bye in this one. Like, Winnipeg's not what we've seen them, but they just beat Hamilton 40-3. And like I said, we're on a bye. Calgary, when Calgary was absolutely rolling and had just took their lunch the week before. Like, they can play with anybody. It is funny to think, though, like, that 14 points, it's not a better playing for a spread. Like, you need those 14 points potentially, because this, like, you have to win out and you need Winnipeg to lose out. Not impossible, but it's going to be a tough task.
But the way it works, you only played once.
Yes.
You play each other once, home and home.
Yes.
So
that's exactly it. Like, if you because you don't have the if you had won that game by 14 and tried to win that game by 14, you have the luxury of not needing to go perfect. And granted, it's only 2 games. Well, they lose both. Like, you have a little bit of wiggle room where you can finish with the same record, and all of a sudden you get that golden ticket and they don't. But it doesn't end up that way. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, because you talked about the aggression on some of the play calls. Like, I get that the first goal is win the game, always. That's what you game plan for. That's what it's about. It's about W's and L's. But when a playoff tiebreaker is on the line, there has to be a degree of, you need to, like, if you're up by 7 with it on your own 35 with 30 seconds left, you're running everyone. You're running all verts down the field. Like, you are trying to get into scoring position. You're 100%. Like, you have to be.
So what was the margin going into the game? 13 points?
Yeah, because Winnipeg won their game by 13 when they played earlier in the season. So if Edmonton had won by 14 or more, they would have had the tiebreak.
That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, and it was potentially, because
it could come down to 8 points.
If Edmonton loses to BC next week, like, it's
that's
over.
Curtains.
Yeah.
But say it does come down to Winnipeg losing their remaining 2 games, Edmonton winning out. Each team 9-9. It could come down to those 8 points.
Well, in that situation, we'd be lucky, because if Winnipeg loses out, they'll be 8-10, and if we win out, we'd be 9-9.
Sorry.
So, but if it's 1-1,
if it all finishes 9-9,
and that more than possible. Like, if we're both sitting at 8-10 or something, or like,
jeez.
So listen, it's a tough spot to be in. And you just think, like, there were, like, you had the 15-point lead in the third quarter, like I said, but there were spots in the game, like, Cody didn't have an unbelievable game airing the ball out or anything like that, but there were spots you certainly could have played more aggressively to get into scoring position and to put those points on the board. And the other thing is, like, when you're up 25-10 in the third quarter, like, with under half of the third quarter, buckle down defensively. Keep them. Now, like, Ontario Wilson, his touchdown, we can talk about that later. Made a great catch. Like, what are you going to do? That's an unbelievably athletic play, unbelievable concentration. Credit to him. But the mindset, like, you have to pretty much assume it's a tie game right now. Don't let them score. If they score, they win. That's similar to the mindset when you're up by 15 in a game you need to win by 14 or more. Do not let them get into the end zone.
You need points at a premium. Everything's a premium at that point. Now, you saw me smile there as you're talking. You're probably thinking, what the hell is this guy? What's going on in his mind? I got something in my teeth or something? But for real, Deck, What popped in my mind, and I'm putting this as politely as I can, and you'll understand where I'm coming from. Does it seem like there's maybe some fatigue to Cody Fajardo's game the past few weeks? It just seems like...
Yeah, 100%. And it's fatigue with, like, all parts of it, it seems. And, listen, Cody, who knows what... Like, this team may very well be a playoff team if he gets the start from the beginning of the season, and it's a true open QB battle. Cody's been far from the problem. I think he's been more the solution than anything.
Absolutely.
But there is, to your point, you see some drives and you see some plays and you see some situations where you're like, okay, you're not 26.
Yeah.
Like, and dude, I mean, again, we're the same way we're a pro Trey Ford podcast and conglomerate. We're a pro Cody Fajardo conglomerate.
Yes, we are.
But some of those deep balls, man,
Yeah, and it's just not even. It's just I don't know if it's the play calling, if it's a combination of everybody, quarterback play calling, but just Maximic, like the lack of aggressiveness, and then Cody's lack of aggressiveness at the position.
Yeah.
Check down king.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think a lot of that. I don't want to speak for Cody, but I would have to imagine a lot of that is not maybe trusting his arm as much as he thought. And, like, the completion percentage looks a heck of a lot better when you're throwing those hot reads and when you're checking it down to, And Cody's talked about how the offense in the CFL is very progression-based. And you obviously have to go through your progressions quickly. You only have, 3 seconds to get the ball out. But it does seem to me a little bit, there's a bit more of... Hey, let's skip reads 2, 3, and 4, and let's jump right to number 5. Yeah, let's keep this thing simple.
Rankin, where are you?
Yeah, I'm not knocking him for it, and it's not like Rankin only had 1 catch in this one, so it's on 3 targets, so it's not like he was some huge factor, just running those checkdowns in this one. But there does seem to be like he averaged 6 yards a pass.
13 to 24 for 142.
Yeah.
No touch, no picks.
You don't really generally average 6 yards a pass unless a lot of those are checkdowns. And it's funny because Cody's had games where you kind of look up and you're like, whoa, that was his yardage total? This one, I almost feel like it's the opposite. Like, I remember checking the box score at the end of this one, seeing he was 13 for 24 for 142 yards. To me, it felt like he had a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
But I think it was honestly because I was like, oh, no, wait. The drives were sustained by Justin Rankin on the ground. The big plays were Justin Rankin on the ground. Like, he obviously finishes with 18 for 138. He has that 3rd and 2 house call. Like, just big plays, man. And it's things like that you're like, oh, wait, that's where the offense is flowing through. Like, that's how things are going. You know what I mean?
Where is he at in terms of MOP rank? He's making his case, huh, Deck?
The problem is I'm a very firm, I know it's not MVP. I know it's MOP. I still don't know if I can give MOP to I don't know if I can give MOP to a guy on a team with a losing record who's presumably or maybe likely going to miss the playoffs in a 9-team league where 6 make it. And I think Justin Rankin, best player on this ball club. Offense, defense, special teams. I think Justin Rankin is the best player. I think Justin Rankin is the best big play player in the CFL. I think he'll absolutely be Edmonton's MOP nominee. I think he absolutely deserves to be MOP nominee. I think he deserves to be in the conversation. But it's just a personal thing. Maybe it's a hurdle I have to get over. I can't give my MOP to a guy who's on the team, who's on a team who's going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, no,
and that's a
dude,
little.
That's as a competitor. That's the competitor's answer right there, man.
Yeah, it's just
love to hear it. It makes the most sense. Come on.
It makes a little bit more sense when you talk about who's the most valuable player, because then you can really kind of pair those two. Like, how can you be that valuable if your team's missing the playoffs? Outstanding is a little different, and I like the wording of the CFL. I love how they do it, because they say no, we're going to reward the most outstanding player. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Things like this. But even still, I think you got to look at a guy like Bo Levi, plays the most important position. He's got over 5,000 yards and over 30. I think he's the only quarterback with over 30 touchdowns this year. And obviously Hamilton's done what they've done.
I haven't looked at Nathan Rourke's numbers, but I'm sure they're creeping up there.
Yeah, Nathan Rourke, he's making a real push for it. He's got 4,500 yards, 27 touchdowns. He does have 3 more touchdowns than He has three more interceptions than Bo Levi, 7 less touchdowns.
30 touchdowns?
He's at 34. He's at 34, yeah. And Nathan Rourke is second with 27. Then, yeah, you look at, some of, like, Dedrick Mills is a guy who could be in there. He's got 1,200 yards and 10 TDs rushing the ball. Justin Rankin, 976 and 9. Obviously, Justin's a bit more of a factor in the receiving. He's a more of a factor in the receiving game as well.
Touchdowns. I believe he leads the league now in total touchdowns.
Yeah, he was second coming into Saturday's game, so it would make sense. And he's leading the league in big plays. Like, he's
30 in a big play would be defined as
it's a rush over 20 yards or a reception over 30 yards. And no one's doing it like he does, because most of the time when you got a big play guy, it's a running back who gets over 20, or it's a receiver who gets over 30. Justin does both, man. He does everything.
That's such a good point. I was going to bring this up to you. Have you seen a guy really, like, you don't often see it, who is so physical as him, and as shifty as him, but then has that breakaway speed like he does too. Yeah. He's really the total package, man.
He's way faster than even I gave him credit for.
Me too.
Because I think anyone who's an Elks fan thought this is very typical. Justin Rankin's your power back, Javon Leake is your speed back. I still think that's the dynamic, and it's actually funny because after the game, doing the post-game avail with Justin, he said, like, Javon's way faster than me. He's faster than anyone in the league. I forget what the context was, but that really stuck out to me because he was talking about, like,
which I believe. I believe the track stride.
Yeah, because we were talking about, like, he was talking about, like, just doing what I need to do. Like, if you need me to come off the field, we know we got Javon back there, and he said, like, yeah, we talk about how fast I am. He's way faster than me. But to that point, Justin is, like, he's a power back with speed. Like, he can really burst. Yeah. And I've always been so impressed with Justin because he has that. Like, he has a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but some running backs, like, they don't want to stand there and pass pro. They want to leak quickly. They want
that physicality.
Yeah. But Justin stands in there and he puts his shoulder into those edge rushers, into those backers. Package. He really is.
He really is.
And it was great talking to him after the game because I asked him, like, you've kind of established yourself as the best big play player in the league when you talk about your touchdown total and when you talk about the big plays you have. And he said, yeah, man, it's my guys are blocking downfield. Like, my O-line, there have been ebbs and flows of how people have kind of reacted to them, us included, but they do their job. He's like, but I'm just happy to do whatever I need to do. If you need me to stand in and block, if you need me to come off the field, if you need me to carry the ball, if you need it to be a screen, like, he is really a team guy. And he also talked about that 2-year extension, which I thought was great.
I'm glad you just brought that up.
And he said, like, because he was asked, it was, tell us about that 2-year extension. And he said, listen, this was the team and this was the franchise and this was the community that took a chance on me. Like, they gave me the opportunity and I want to give back to them. I want to reward them with that. And it's great because I think Justin was obviously the RB1 coming into this season, but respectfully, I don't think we knew he was this good.
Nobody did. He was cut last year.
Yes, he was cut by Chris Jones.
And he was, with all that being said, too, he was also brought up by Chris Jones. Yep. But he was also brought into camp last year, I believe, as a slot back.
Yeah.
Which explains the speed and explains the hands out of the backfield. But rank as a slot back. And that's where he took reps at all camp, got cut from there.
I know, I couldn't.
And they brought him back. Injuries.
It's crazy to him because he is built like a tailback.
Totally.
Like, he's like 5'8", like 215, just like wide.
Picture him
like,
in the wagon coming down. Like, what? That's not it. Jonesy, what are you doing having him back? What a waste of talent, Chris.
He's got bad one, Chris. He made some bad decisions. That one was tough, but yeah, like he's got such a Ashton Genty kind of like build to him. Like, he's just thick and he's like broad.
He's jacked, he's like good bodied. You know what I mean?
Strong legs.
That's why I'm saying, like, you talk NFL a bit. We see Cam Scatterbo, for example. Yeah. That's how he runs that physicality style for the New York Giants. But yet he's got the breakaway, which you don't see that out of that style of runner. It's cool, man. Yep. And if you know film like you do, Deck, you watch it from that sideline view, he glides. That's how fast he is. He's a glider on film, and you can just see it with his stride.
Absolutely. Yeah, and and we're talking about him right now. He's the biggest reason for this win. Like, we'll get into obviously, our offensive and defensive player of the game later, but 18 for 138.
What a play, though. That one. What was it, 3rd and 2?
Yeah, 3rd and 2. That call, pretty gutsy.
That was okay. You're right, Deck. That was a gutsy one by Jordan.
And I'm happy because you know what's funny about that? So I was obviously watching up in the press box, And, 3rd and 2 comes up, and I'm thinking like, okay, because they're on their own 46. I'm thinking like, okay, here comes the punt. So I get up to go to the bathroom or something. And I get back just at like the beginning of the play, and I see that. I'm like, what happened here? I didn't know if like I had missed a play. I didn't know if there was a penalty.
So you caught it though.
I caught the run, obviously, and I caught him going just berserk mode.
You had a sick view for it too.
Pardon?
You had a good view for it too.
Oh yeah,
in the press box.
It's always the best view. But there's one like corner of the right side of the table. Anyone who sat there will know what I'm talking about. That like the glass cuts off the corner of the south side of the field.
Yeah.
So it's always funny also because it's like mirrored glass kind of. So on like kickoff, it just looks like the Bombers are running into the Bombers or the Elks are running into the Elks. But I came back and I saw it. I was like, what are we like? Did I miss it? Is this first down? Was there a penalty? Like, did I miss something? What's going on? And then looking up at the TSN broadcast, seeing it's 3rd down, and he's just taking this one for a house call on a gutsy call. And that was something. Not maybe you as much, but I had been critical about. Like I had said, like the play calling had been too conservative.
I've been super critical.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Critical, yeah. And still am, quite frankly, coming out of this game, like we talked about with the points.
Yeah,
go chase
That's a fair
them.
Point.
And it's not all in Kim. We've talked about Maximic enough. Oh, we've talked about him enough.
Yeah.
Got to be hungrier.
Yeah, yeah, and this one. Because that's the other thing. Like this 3rd and 2, like Justin took it for the house call. That was to get that was a design play to get 2-3 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the sticks moving. Like Justin.
That's your team MOP.
Justin just making a play when he gets just making a play when he gets there. But overall, I mean, like the game as a whole, I thought they were locked in defensively. Like Brady Oliveira had a good game. And he had a good game on the stat sheet. He was 12 for 117. And we talked about this ad nauseum. Like, the game plan if you're Winnipeg is you win the game in the trenches, you feed Brady Oliveira. Winnipeg was the number 1 rushing team in the CFL coming into the game. We knew Brady's a great player. Like, how many awards has he won? We know how good he is. We know he's going to get the ball. I'm not saying you live with that, but you understand that, listen, if Brady's going to get fed, we do our part in the trenches, and we take Zach Collaros out of the game, we're going to have a good chance to win. And to their credit,
passing yards.
And he had like 85 with 7 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. I think he had 92 or 93 entering the 4th quarter.
It was limited, man.
So he obviously added to the tally nicely there in that 4th quarter. But he 22 for 34, not great. 202 yards, low for a CFL game. And it's funny because Cody had like 13 of 24 and 142, and we're carving up Zach here. But low for a CFL game. He had the 2 picks. He also only averaged 6 yards a catch. And if it wasn't for Ontario Wilson with the play of the year, and there have been some play of the year candidates, if it wasn't for Ontario Wilson making the play of the year, he's 21 of 34 for, what would it be, 170 yards with no touchdowns?
Yeah,
so,
right at that.
Like Ontario, if Zach got any kind of bonus for this one, which I'm sure he didn't, but he got to send half that check to Ontario because he made his stat line look a heck of a lot nicer.
Sure did off one play. Man, I'm just going through the team stats too, and just a reoccurring theme, Deck, time after time is the Double E are continuously out-punting their opponent. 6 punts for Winnipeg, 9 punts for the Double E. Every game in, game out, they're always punting more.
Yeah.
Not sustaining drives, not putting plays together. The offense just not doing enough. They won the game, but they're just not doing enough, not holding up their end of the bargain defensively. This team, Brady Oliveira, 12 for 117, that's a deceiving 117, in my opinion. I think the defense did a hell of a job again. He busted off that 1 for 30, and sure, you could say Rank busted off that 1 for 60, whatever it was. But Brady just didn't go off. There's a lot of pressure in the backfield. He didn't allow for that forward momentum to let him go and just lean on you for 7 yards consistently on first down, which Winnipeg does.
Yeah, and like Brady, again, the stat line does look good, and Brady's a great player. I'm not trying to take away from, a guy who averaged almost 10 yards a carry. Like, he's a good player, but the stat line overall, you don't leave that game thinking we got carved up by Brady Oliveira. Like, that's not what it was
Absolutely
at all.
Not.
I thought the defense played very well going into that 4th quarter. And then some of the number. And here's another thing. Like, Brady, how many did he have on that last play of the game where they just ran a draw from their own, 8th or whatever it was?
That's a good point, Deck.
I was
about that.
I was thinking, I guess to that point, Winnipeg was thinking, listen, we're going to lose by 5, so we're going to have the tie break Plus, Edmonton needs a little bit more to fall their way than we do, so whatever. But if I'm Winnipeg, here's my thing. If Winnipeg runs a hook and ladder or like a Hail Mary, whatever it is on that play, even if Edmonton gets it and gets a touchdown, a 2-point convert, I guess actually a 2-point convert would make it a 13-point game, and then you'd be tied. So maybe Winnipeg did make the right call. Because the point I was going to make was, like, even if Edmonton gets a touchdown, it's only 12, you still win the tiebreak. I guess with a 2, it would be 13 and it'd be tied. So forget it. But I was still surprised. Like, you could have clinched your playoff spot with a win in this game. Like, there's no guarantees for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. Now, like, there's no guarantees you're going to get a 102-yard hook and ladder to work. Very low likelihood, I guess. But I don't know. I was just kind of surprised
with Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Milt.
Oh my goodness,
that was crazy.
That was such weird coverage as well in that play. Like, I'm pretty sure it was single coverage along the strong side of the field, no safety.
I thought there was a safety, but he split him. There was two guys.
Oh, he might have actually.
There was two guys that I think hit each other right as Milt was beyond them.
That might be right.
I think that's what happened.
That sounds right. That sounds more like
the safety was coming over and kind of undercut his guy.
That sounds more like what the defense would scheme up for that. Because I remember it for some reason just being one-on-one coverage. And it's like you're running one-on-one coverage with Milt Steele to the wide side of the field at the end of the game. Like, you're going to lose that battle. That's crazy. You're going to lose that battle. But I don't know. Like, other thoughts on this one? I thought Jared Brinkman, I thought came in. He had a sack on the first play of the game, Edmonton's first defensive play of the game, and I was like, he's back making an immediate impact. Because one thing we had talked about was the iteration of the defensive line that had been not all those guys you gave the big money to had been playing the best. And we also thought, Jared was a guy who fit in the most seamlessly and was going to. And I thought he did. I thought he came in. Obviously, out of that
the
starting
trio
group,
that's come over,
sure.
From Toronto.
100%, yeah. And I thought he came in fit seamlessly, like Brock and Joel. Tackle numbers for linebackers can sometimes be deceiving. Like, sometimes people can check the box score and be like, ooh, a lot of tackles for your Mac linebacker, for your Will linebacker there. And those guys, like, they are going to be the leading tackers, generally speaking, historically speaking. But sometimes it's a little misleading. Sometimes it's not always the best stat. But I thought they did play well. Like, I thought they did. Like, Brock and Joel both flowed to the ball really well. Both had a nose for a football. Both had a desire to get in there on plays, which is what we've kind of come to expect from them. But I thought it was a pretty good defensive game. Like, he held this team to 20 points.
My team MOP for the game by far is the DB unit as a whole.
Oh my goodness,
they balled out. The whole unit, all the DBs, they were whacking people. They were making plays, finishing plays, touchdown. Like, they were doing it. They were just hyper aware. Obviously, Cordell was picking it up and taking it to the crib.
With the little.
But they're just on their game. The DB's been balling now again since probably the Labor Day rematch. They've really been out there in all phases, not just covering, but everything, tackling, doing it all, man.
They got a really, really good group.
They do?
Like, a really talented group. Like, Terrell on the strong side can essentially eliminate half the field. JJ, man, he's become my favorite player. All he does is ball out, play hard, and he also has great instincts for the ball. And sometimes DBs don't always have the instincts they should, I would say. Like, sometimes DBs can get a little bit like frozen is one thing, but sometimes DB, like, there's just something to be said for having an instinct for the ball. Not everyone has it. JJ has it. Like, he has great DB instincts. And you obviously talk about Cordell. Like, Cordell could be a linebacker, and he's short, but he's built. Like, he's similar to Justin in that sense.
Fast,
like,
he took off on that, man, when he grabbed that ball.
He knew he was. Yeah, he saw
that was a house call.
Yeah,
he knew it. He was fast, so he surprised me how quick he got out.
He had burst.
Shot out.
Yeah, he had burst. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying, like, him playing D half, like Chalen, who I've come to like. There's just talent all over on that in that defensive secondary. And it's at times this season, I think a lot of it attributed to game planning. They hadn't been playing well. Like, the coverage was they got killed for 4 weeks with just curls.
Early.
That was all teams would run. They would just run curls, and they would kill them. For 4 or 5 weeks.
It in a more mature light, now that you look back in the season, and here we are, 15 weeks down, looking back at the weeks that you're just referencing, Deck. this team, they just needed to gel. They needed time to play together. And especially, we've heard it spoken about tons in the secondary. I should have known better even back then in the present when we were discussing it. But you do need time as a secondary. There's so much communication and stuff that has to go on. Knowing that your brother's going to be there doing exactly what he's supposed to do, maybe in his deep third or in that specific zone or in man. Yeah. And we're seeing it really round into form now throughout the season. And this team, especially that unit, is going to be scary next year if Ed Hervey brings all these guys back because, they're meshing, like you said.
And it's funny, man, because they're meshing now, absolutely. And similar to the defensive line, not even remotely what it was to start the season. Devondrick Bynum, he was starting. He was boundary corner. Manny Rugamba, who got released after 2 weeks, he was starting halfback. Royce Mechie, who's a very good player, he was starting safety. And then even before JJ, Leonard Johnson, he got a start, in that one. Kenny had been moved back there. And it does bring up an interesting question because, if my secondary group is JJ and Terrell at the corners, Kobe Williams and Cordell at the halves, and Chalen as my safety, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But what are you going to, Royce Mechie is a great player. What are you going to do with him? Devondrick Bynum, it's not his fault he got injured. Obviously, you got to play the hand you're dealt, but he's a good corner. What are you going to do? Good. What are you going to do with him?
Man, he lacked the physicality, though.
He did, yeah. He was the one we really carved up the most in the season for lack of physicality.
He didn't want any of that.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
What was your thought on the reffing in this one?
Oh, man.
Because I thought...
Dak. Especially the one play.
Terrell's hit.
Yeah.
I couldn't... We'll talk about that one in a second because I couldn't believe... I thought I missed something. I was like, did I not hear something? Did the mic go out in the stadium? Was there something behind the play I didn't see? I'm never one to really carve up reffing because I think, generally speaking, the refs, they do what they can.
It's hard to ref.
It's hard to ref, yeah. And the game kind of evens itself out. If there's a obvious blown call in the first quarter, game kind of evens out. Maybe there's one in the third quarter.
There'll be makeup.
Yeah, but this game, I thought, I couldn't believe what I was watching. The missed face mask at the end. Yes. How do we miss that? It was the most blatant face mask I've ever seen. Terrell's hit. I couldn't believe it. I've never seen anything like it.
I've never heard that call before.
No.
Unnecessary hit on a receiver.
It was
I've never heard that. That's what I wrote it down. That's how he phrased it, right?
And it was the most
unnecessary hit on a wide receiver. That's exactly because I had to write it down when the ref said it. That's crazy. I've never heard that before. He didn't even use the term defenseless or anything. He said unnecessary hit on a wide receiver. What are we doing?
Yeah, what?
I've never seen a regular standard football hit get flagged like that. It wasn't targeting or anything, Dad.
It was just a basic undercut.
Yeah.
Right? It was, how many times has Terrell, that's been his bread and butter all season.
That's what he does.
He's broken up countless passes doing that. He's taken countless receivers out of the game.
We talked about that was his game even going into the season.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly thought I missed a melee down the field or Terrell jumped on him after the play when I was looking at my laptop. I thought there had to be something else because it was just such a basic football play.
Whacked out that leg. What else do you want him to do?
And I wanted to ask Coach Killam after the game. I wanted to say what are your thoughts on the reffing? But his first question, he kind of said, he's like, I'm not getting fined tonight. It's out of my control. You could tell he wasn't going to talk about it, so I didn't ask him. For sure. But it was one of the worst I've seen in a long time, I thought. It was so one-sided.
In line with this hit, man, Paul LaPolice, I believe, was doing the color on TSN.
Yep.
And you were in the house, so you didn't hear it, but I was watching the broadcast, and Paul LaPolice said that would be a play where you want to see your guy go high. And I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You never want to tackle high. That's textbook. Why would you tackle high? That's how you get shook. That's how you break tackles is when guys go high. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard because you would never teach a guy to go high. You teach exactly what you saw because that shouldn't be a flag.
Here's the thing for Paul. He longtime head coach in the CFL.
Offensive guy.
Yeah, offensive. But here's the thing. If you go high, first of all, he got the call for unnecessary hit on her. Crazy. But if you go high in that situation, you would have to think the likelihood of like targeting or hit to a defenseless receiver is much higher.
Because Brady hadn't even turned.
Yeah, so there's that for starters. And then the second thing is the only thing you're ever like taught to remember as a defensive player from Adam up is tackle low. Like take the legs away.
The only thing you're ever taught is to tackle low.
Yes. They teach you how to form.
You're not taught to go high.
They teach you how to form tackle, head on the outside, make sure it's low, and they stop there. Yeah. That is the teaching for a defensive player.
So when he said on the live broadcast that would be a case where you want to see your guy go high, I thought, what are you saying?
Yeah, like what are we doing?
It was
here?
terrible. It was terrible.
He's got that bomber bias.
Bomber offensive bias,
yeah, He knew you go high, there's a targeting ball there.
Lapo.
Man. Do we want to get to some clips here? Mm-hmm. Are there any other thoughts on just anything we missed? Like, overall, I don't know. I thought Justin, MOP as well. Not a surprise there. Thought the defense played well. Winnipeg, I guess, kind of maybe a little bit got back into it late, but it didn't feel like they were really going to mount to come back.
It was just nice, to see them go for the points.
Yeah.
They talked about it, all second half of the broadcast, just how critical the points are, and it would have been nice to see Killam have a little more awareness of that and go after it a little more aggressively. Just, showing that being a head coach is all-encompassing, Deck, and it's not just about the product on the field and like getting the guys revved up to go win a game. You got to be aware of the overall 30-foot, 1,000 picture.
Yep.
And part of that picture is beating Winnipeg in the tiebreaker with points.
Yep.
And that, if he went after that, that would show you a sign of a coach who's like really locked in, who might be wise beyond his years. Because that's what like the chess match coaches do. They play those types of games within the games that are important. And going after those points in the tie-breaking situation would have been very important and nice to see from Killam.
Yeah, and talking to him after the game, like I think you could tell it was on his mind. And he didn't, say this, but I guess one thing is also like, let's, if you're up by 7, really trying to air it out for that second touchdown, make it 14. Something breaks the wrong way and you got a pick 6 going the other way. All of a sudden, instead of leading by 7, it's a tie game. So I guess there is that to consider as well. But it's also kind of like shit, man, you got to try.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's that as well. Okay, the first, we ready to get to some clips here?
I'm good. All right, are we going to have it here?
Yeah,
I'm just hopping back in.
I got him here. The first one is JJ's interception. Nothing was overly spectacular about this play. I talked about JJ's instinct, but what was really funny about this one is Zach Caleros really did the fuck it, he down there somewhere.
Yeah.
And he just we'll get a chance to look at it here. But we'll take a look at this one here. My computer froze. I don't know if it's working for you.
Yeah, it's working for me.
Okay.
Really underthrown ball.
Yeah, brutally underthrown ball.
Quite easy pick for JJ.
The pressure here, just this pretty standard 4-man rush. It doesn't even really collapse on him.
No, he chucks it up. But Nick also comes up with a hammy.
Yeah.
Dembski, run it back when you can after.
We actually get it in the long view here. After JJ's return,
nice.
I'll let you.
Oh, perfect. We got the tight.
I don't know, actually. I didn't grab these clips, but it was, if we have the long view here, we will see it. I'm starting to think we don't, maybe.
Because Nick Dembski comes up lane.
I'll restart it here, because he absolutely does. He comes up. And that's
probably one of the big reasons he couldn't come back and battle for that, why it looks so easy for JJ.
Yeah, he does. He does pull up. But even still,
that was a short ball. Yeah.
And what I liked about this one is talking about JJ's instincts. I believe, I'll have to see the drops here again, but they're just this is just a zone coverage. Like this is just a.
Now look at the defense. Everybody locking up.
Yep.
Go find a man. Block. That allows JJ now to go for 40-yard return.
Yes, and look at this. Like
block. Oh, what am I saying? 40. Talk about 50, 60-yard return.
Yeah, and just great instincts for him to break from his zone. See that underthrown ball. He didn't actually have to. It was in his zone, but just underthrown ball, get on it, make a play. But it was if you watch right here when Zach gets ready to throw the ball, this is him getting ready to throw it.
That's a nice pocket.
There is no one in his face.
That's a picture perfect pocket, Deck.
And yes, it is. And this is it's just a pure arm throw. Like he doesn't put anything into this. He just wings it. Says Nick down there somewhere.
I think he's leaning backwards.
Yeah.
All his weight's transferring back on one
Just
foot.
kind of spins and gets rid of it.
Yeah, on one
And
foot.
yeah.
That's what happens when you've been nicked up, though, Deck.
Yep.
You start feeling those ghosts around you.
Absolutely, yeah.
The
You
pressure is there when it's not really there. You don't want to get hit.
100%. You get a little scared. You think, I gotta get rid of this one. Okay, next one we have here. This is Cody's touchdown, his rushing touchdown. What I thought was cool about this one is this was a really untraditional play to run with Cody. Like, this is a zone read is what this is here. And code, like, that's obviously something we had seen far more predominantly in the playbook when Trey was the quarterback, because it plays to his strength. But I thought it was great play calling here, because if you look at the end, look at how he collapses here. He collapses. He doesn't think for a second Cody's going to pull this ball.
No, not at all.
And this is, so for anyone who doesn't know, and I think we've been over this, as the quarterback in a read option situation here, your eyes are on this end. I'm hovering over it with my mouse. I'm realizing no one can see that.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, if we had, if you could put up a circle,
pointer,
oh boy, that'd be cold. That's what I originally wanted for steel reels.
But this end right here, you can see him isolated at the 5-yard line. He's coming in as the left edge rusher. Your eyes as the quarterback are on him, and you are going to react based on what he does. If he collapses,
come down to the hash, essentially, the hash mark.
If he collapses, you are going to pull that, and you are going to have the roll out there, which is exactly what we see on this play. If he stays home, that's when you give it to your running back. As it turns out, he collapses on this play, bites really hard, but that's what the play is designed to do. Bites really hard, and Cody just pulls it, and highway to the end zone. He actually cuts in here.
I'm surprised we didn't see this into the end zone.
Yeah. The little Statue of Liberty. But I just thought this was really creative play calling from Jordan, because, there have not been a whole lot of read options drawn up.
No, not for Cody.
For Cody Fajardo.
Yeah, that's good scheming.
Yeah, it's good scheming, and it's the ideal part of the field to do it on as well.
And Cody still has a little of that juice.
He's
and when
got
you're
a little
right
bit of
down
that
here
juice.
at the 3-yard line, that is the ideal part of the field. You're right, because you don't say, Cody, you're at midfield. You don't want to bust that for 50 for Cody. You don't want him taking that.
And Cody's absolutely got a little bit of mobility, but that, first and goal from the 4. Let's bust out
perfect.
this read. Yeah, great play calling. Okay, next one we got Justin's touchdown here. I mean, just big game player.
Well, huge play, too, on 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
Just to get the first down. That cut, though, I hope we can get the tight line of this, because he made 2 cuts there downfield where he sticks his foot and cuts inside twice. We can't.
No,
good blocking first and foremost. It was all locked up by the O-line to get the first down. But that first one, and then this
just hits the hole.
one.
And this is where we talk about the speed he has. Because in the next frame, you're going to see him gone before he makes his second cut.
Then he's
gone, and then boom. And he really plants and goes on that one. That is a really nice run.
That's sick.
And
this
again,
first one is awesome, though.
This play calling, because it's a 1-point game, 2 minutes into the third quarter. You don't want the drive to end right here. Give it to Winnipeg and essentially allow them to have momentum to immediately start the half. You want to really establish something here, and that's what they do.
Pause it right before this first stick. Right before.
Sorry.
Boy, that's nasty, Deck.
I missed it.
That's highlight reel stuff.
Right there.
Wow, Deck. We made 3 dudes miss in 1 cut.
Right? Yeah, you'll see it
one
coming
cut.
in here.
Highlight reel.
Just boom.
Look at that.
Look at how they're turned.
Yeah.
Look at how these two are turned
that's
right
sick,
here.
wicked, and nasty, buddy.
Yeah. And like I said, he's got that burst. So as soon as he gets out of here, you're going to see him get a couple yards, and then boom.
You and I will never know what it feels like to be able to run full speed and stick it like that.
Never.
Ever. My knee would fall out.
Oh yeah. I'd be that regular guy tearing his
man, that's sick.
His ACL.
I used to watch back when I was probably 13, 14 years old. I'd be watching YouTube clips. Remember Noel Devine?
Oh yeah, of course.
I'd be watching all those guys type clips, man, and just their West Virginia, their high school tapes of just sick speed, right? Stuff like that, like unimaginable to me.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like Barry Sanders was the best for that. Like the way he was able to go east and west and plant and just cut. Like it was so. Former Winnipeg Bombers running back, actually. Remember Charles Roberts?
Of course, Blink.
Yeah. He used to do that really well. He used to go side to side like that.
Blink
really
was crazy. Like some of the stories about Charles Roberts, bro, he was such a savage, like just an animal partier and stuff. He literally would take smoke breaks in between meetings.
No way.
And like he was the man, like couldn't tell him nothing. So yeah, he would go out, take smoke breaks, and then go back into meetings.
It felt like, maybe this is just me being nostalgic, but it felt like there really was a golden age of CFL running backs, of like Charles Roberts, like Joffrey Reynolds was in there.
Yeah.
Who else was
Pringle
in that
would have been around.
Yeah, Pringle a little before that.
Yeah, late Pringle before that time.
Robert Thomas, was that his name? Out in Montreal. Number 47. He was there forever.
I remember Sean Millington.
He was good
Robert
too.
Thomas.
No, I don't know if that was his name. Hold on a sec. I gotta Montreal.
There's a small little spurt of Lumsden in there.
Jesse Lumsden was
small spurt of him, but then his shoulders. And then Deandra Cobb was in Hamilton. Who was in Toronto? It would have been Pinball a little bit then. You like how I texted in your show, Andre Dury?
Yeah. Man, who am I thinking of here? This is crazy. Avon Cobourne. That's not who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
but
Montreal.
He was.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who I was thinking of? It was Robert Edwards.
Okay, Robert.
I don't know
Edwards.
if you remember him, but he was number 47 in Montreal. He was only there for 2 years, but 2005. He was only there for 3 years. Sorry, but in 2005, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. 2006, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. Yeah, he was
nice.
He was nasty with it, yeah. And then Avon was obviously, he was cold as well. Okay, this next clip I think this is Ontario's touchdown. This obviously
probably one of the CFL highlights of the year.
Oh
no, this isn't it.
This is Cordell's touchdown.
Yeah, this is the fumble.
It's
a good return. Good job by Winnipeg to strip it out. That ball was loose. That ball certainly was loose.
There's like 3 or 4 different players from each team that should have been on that ball.
I was surprised Cordell got it as clean as he did.
There's nothing really to highlight here because this is such a wacky play. Yeah. Like this is just. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is honestly just because it was awesome. Like,
Johnny on the spot.
CFL. And if you watch,
I'll be Mr. Negative. Just keep that ball a little tighter. Look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, he's bread loafing it. Yeah, bread loafing it out there. And yeah, like you said, great play by Winnipeg to get that strip. They should have had the recovery.
They really should have.
Like twice, or maybe even 3 times, like I said. But Cordell sticks with it, picks it up, house call. And, like, listen, that play's worth 6 points. You won the game by 5.
TSN turning point.
Credit where credit's due.
Because imagine if Winnipeg gets that ball back. You're up 18-10. Winnipeg gets that ball back.
Absolutely.
Who knows what happens? All of a sudden now, 24-10.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, this was Kenny's interception. The reason I wanted to bring this one up is because I think we're seeing a real trend here of backers disguising themselves with their zone drops.
And getting depth.
Yes. Because this is a thing. Like, Brock has had it. Kenny's had it a couple times.
Joel's had his hands on balls.
Joel should have had a couple. Or one at least. Like, there's one that sticks out. But this is just them. Like, it's a very standard, drop for the backer, disguise, just get deep and make a play on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've seen this, like you said, for a few weeks now, where the linebackers are getting that depth and cutting off those, deep under routes.
I do think it is kind of funny. Like, Kenny is such a dog. For him to just kind of give himself up at the end of the play here, like, listen, you're tired. You're probably not going to score. But he's such a dog defensively. To see him not try and put his shoulder into him there.
I'm good with it.
You're fine with
possession secure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Flip the field too. Now you're almost damn near in the red zone.
And this was after a little while after the fumble. There.
Exactly.
So exactly. Said for that. But it was just like the backers have, because we give the DBs their credits for how well they've been.
Didn't Kenny have a pick 2 games ago and fumble it?
Yeah, with this last game, Saskatchewan.
That was last game.
Yeah,
so I'm good with him. Not, he didn't want to mess around. One game later.
Yeah, if he gives it up again, you're right.
Yeah, and that was coming off of the bye week, so 2 weeks ago.
But we've given the DBs a lot of credit, rightfully so, for the way they've been kind of breaking on balls and stuff. But I think the backers have been doing just as well, especially because it's not supposed to be your bread and butter. You know, like you're not supposed to be getting the interceptions like that. A little bit more in the CFL, but still. Like
good coaching, JC baby, and Aaron Grimes. Shout out to him too, because he's responsible for those ZBs coming around.
Aaron Grimes, like if you could make a documentary just on him on the sidelines. Like I don't see any coach get as fired up as Coach Killam doesn't get as fired. Aaron, you damn near think he's playing how deep he gets onto the field. He just loves it, man. Yeah. And I love that for him because he's a great guy. And like we've had him in studio with the Jason Gregor show. You know, he's been on the show multiple times. Like he's just a like good dude and like loves football, loves the organization, wants to be a coach. And you can tell, man, it's real to him. It's real.
It matters.
I just think about like him as a head. It definitely matters. I think about him as a head coach. Like he's given everything into that challenge flag. You know what I mean? Like he's putting
that thing to the hashes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, just one more clip here. I think this is Ontario Wilson's touchdown. Obviously, didn't go for us. Went against us.
CFL highlight of the year though.
But that's why I wanted to bring it up. CFL also
good cov.
Yeah, good cov.
Just not to get even the PI.
Yeah.
Like, usually you see when guys come back to it, they get the PI.
Chalen played it really well.
He did.
This was another ball.
He just got.
This was another ball that was it should have been an easier touchdown than that. It was a touch underthrown. But Terrell comes back as well.
Yeah, Terrell couldn't find it.
He couldn't find because it looks like if we watch it from here, it looks like Terrell might kind of give up on the play, like thinks it's a dead ball's hitting the ground, but he just couldn't find it. Like he didn't know where the ball was. He's not giving up on anything. It's just one of those ones.
Look at how hot Cordell comes in late too.
Yeah,
like so. There's 3 guys for the Double E who were coming in fighting for it.
It's funny.
Cordell comes in real late.
And he's not even near the frame.
But he sees
that
it's bouncing. Look, he sees.
You know what's funny? It's funny you mentioned Cordell. Watching it live, I actually thought he got the interception. Yeah. Because he's running, he's got his hand up, and I'm thinking, like, that's a pick. And then I see the call on the field, and they call it a touchdown.
Look at it.
Yeah, he's letting him know he got the ball.
That's funny. I like that, man. Respect.
Because obviously on the replay, like, there's no doubt that this was a touchdown. But watching it live, I'm like, no, Cordell clearly picked that.
PSN had one view that was just excellent. It showed it perfectly. It was a hell of a catch.
Yeah, it was.
Just the way he was tipping it to himself.
Yeah, unbelievable concentration.
Yeah,
like there's some passes that we talk about, or some catches that are like really hard to make that people don't think about. Like looking over your shoulder as it's dropped in a bucket. Like that's a really tough catch to make. And we don't highlight, but this one as well. Like the concentration you need to be going down, your body away from the ball.
Bodies around you.
Yes, 2 defenders right there. Now, granted, it's not like they were exactly swatting at it at that period in time, but to have the concentration to be able to continually tip it to yourself and have the body control to at least be where you need to be and make the catch, huge catch.
Yeah, man.
Huge catch.
Yep. Everybody's saying that'll be one of the CFL plays of the year.
There have been a couple this year. Like, man, it's been a good year for highlights,
sometimes
but that
you
one,
get got.
Yeah,
it is what
sometimes,
it is.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, do we want to finish up with a little offensive and defensive player of the game?
Yeah, buddy.
Who springs to mind for you?
I got you. For a defensive player of the game, like I said earlier in the show, the entire DB unit.
Yep.
They're balling out, ball hawks, tackling beasts. They're doing it all. So they would be my defensive unit of the game. Offensive player, man.
We can't even
low-hanging fruit.
We can't even do offensive player anymore. It's just Justin Rankin every week.
It's the team MOP. Team MOP.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree totally. I'll if I'm gonna shout out one guy on that secondary, I'm obviously gonna go with the guy who had the big pick and the guy who I think he led the DBs with tackles as well. I think he had 4. I think that was the most of a DB. But yeah, he's quickly, like I said, emerged into one of my favorite players. Like, and you just love things like that. Like for a guy to go from being a practice squad player to being just like.
Yeah.
He's arguably had the best season as any DB on this
squad
team.
To playmaker.
Yes. And some of there's an influx of, players sometimes. Sometimes guys just need a chance. And you never want it to be because of an injury.
That's
how
I got my opportunity.
Yeah. And then you became all decade. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the game of ball, man.
Sometimes that's just how it goes.
That's what we sign up for.
Any final thoughts on this one? Overall,
Good win, man.
A good win, yeah.
You know, forget the points
You're
and
alive.
everything. You're playing to win. You're alive, like you say, bro. And this team, they can play with anybody in the league. Watch out next year.
100%.
They'll be good next year.
Oh.
I hate to, be that guy thinking about next year already, but how could you not? They are going to be a competitive team next year, boy.
Yeah, I agree. They're going to be one of the top, like going into the season next year, depending on what Saskatchewan does with their offseason.
They'll be a tough freaking out.
They'll be one of the top 2 or 3. This Elks team will be one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the West in terms of preseason projection. So, and they're 6-3 in their last 9. They could be.
It was
8-1.
a sloppy start, but they found their way. And then again, there's 3 games in there that easily could have gone their way.
2 Hamilton games and a Toronto game. Like all of a sudden, we're sitting there. That's
sitting
a 10-6 team.
Easily in the crossover position.
That's a 10-6 team that started 1-6.
And what's nice, and I'm gonna hammer Kevin Carius when I see him next time. He was just kept talking about it, and then I would bring this point to our program about how they haven't beat anybody in the West. You know, this team's now beating everybody in the West, so that means this team is legit.
Well, one left, just BC.
Yeah,
that's the one
just
left.
the one. Yeah, they got him though. They got BC. This will be the 3rd time they played BC this year.
Yeah, 3rd time they played.
So
played
maybe you
twice
can slay
early.
that giant finally.
Yeah. They're going to have to keep their playoff hopes alive.
They have to. So
talk about that tomorrow on Elks 101.
Elks 101.
Okay, any final thoughts?
No, man. It was a good win.
Yeah, good win.
Good home
Stay
win, too.
alive.
What is that, 4 straight at home?
Yes. And actually, another thing, because the crowd,
it was only about
only about 15K probably. Wet, cold night.
Realistically?
Yeah,
15?
no, I thought it was about 15.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was the East Side depleted
Pretty
compared to the Saskatchewan Calgary games. But despite that, like the noise was like legit.
Nice.
They were popping. Like they were loud. They came out loud and proud and you could hear it. Obviously it's not the same as when you get 30K for Calgary or Saskatchewan, but like they were loud. Because there have been times in the season where there have been 18 and it didn't sound like the 15 that were there. Like they were
won for them.
They were loud and they were proud.
It's important.
Yeah. Okay, well I guess that's it for this one. Like I said, be back tomorrow, Elks 101. Rick will rejoin us for that one. Looking forward to doing it. But thank you for joining us. We're signing off and we will talk to you tomorrow. Love you guys.